with Monday Night Mayhem. What's going on, people? How is everybody doing? Tonight we're talking the Mandela effect. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, Roman
So,
randomly texted me and was like, Mandela effect. And I was like, what do you mean? And he goes, no, for this week. And I was like, oh, shit. Okay.
so before we get started into like different types of Mandela effects, Roland, what do you like? What basic knowledge do you have of this topic? Like, what do you know about the Mandela effect?
Well, I'll get into that in just a second, but I do want to preface the show with the fact that this is the show that we do every fourth Monday. So basically the last Monday of every month. Monday Night Mayhem is where we talk about a ton of different crazy stuff. We started it on Halloween this year. And we've just been going with that. I think the last one we did was at the Oceans.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the next one that we're gonna do next month, we could come up with something pretty interesting for that for February.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
So I was thinking possibly like cryptids.
Oh, it'd be fun.
Or
I would
something.
be down with that, yeah. I would have to do a lot of research on it, but yeah, for sure.
Pick a couple. Just pick a couple. They're in every country has some. So, but anyway, if I sound a little bit off tonight, I think I'm getting sick. I hope it's not the flu from across the way.
Yeah.
That would be very bad for not really me, but certain people that I live with. But yeah, no. Anyway, yeah, if I just mute for a while, I am here, I'm listening. It's probably just me coughing up a lung. So
Yeah.
do not be alarmed. I'm not leaving. So anyway, Mandela effect. My basic knowledge is the Mandela effect is basically when a massive amount of people all believe one thing to be true and swear by it, and it's proven that that thing never was true. For instance, that the Monopoly man has a monocle.
Yeah,
Thanks, dog. I miss you. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen you.
Yeah. Nah, but these are some like weird ones here. It's like
yeah, the Fruit Loops one I knew. Like some of them I knew.
Yeah. But like I don't know, man. I always thought the Pikachu had, black tail, but then when I found out that he like didn't, I was like, or like the Oscar Mayer one is crazy.
No, I didn't do that, yo. I got into that big ass wiener truck.
Of course you would know that, right?
Dude, that shit's flames. When I saw that when I was a little kid, I laughed my ass off.
Or like Cheez-Its, and then
it's
Cheez-Its, and then
I know it's Cheez-It because everybody always goes, let me get some Cheez-Its, because you're not just gonna go get one.
Yeah.
Dude.
The Fruit of the Loom one was found to be wrong.
It's true.
They did have the cornucopia. Oh.
Roman, what did I say to you before we started this stream? Star Wars Dog knows about the Mandela effect. He's gonna know something. I fucking said that in the back room, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know that this one was like I didn't know that this one was, a big one. I didn't know that there was like the Looney Tunes and then like the Looney Tunes. I didn't know that. That one is interesting. So
wait.
So what is the Mandela effect overall?
Oh well, it's based on the fact that everybody thought Nelson Mandela died, but he didn't.
Yeah.
When he was released, what? Yes, I was, Pilgrim. I was chilling back here at 6:45.
Yeah. So it's basically like what Rolo said earlier. The Mandela effect refers to a situation in which a large mass of people believe that an event occurred when it did not. So it was first coined. Damn it! It was first coined in 2009 when she created a website to detail her observance of the phenomenon. Broom was at a conference talking with other people about how she remembered the tragedy of former South African President Nelson Mandela's death in a South African prison in the 1980s. Ah, okay. Um, no, notable examples. The story of Nelson Mandela is not the only example of this type of false group memory, as the concept of the Mandela effect grew along with Broom's website. Other group false memories began to emerge. Henry VIII eating a turkey leg. What?
I've
People
never
had a
seen that
memory.
one, and I'm sure there's a picture of him somewhere eating a turkey leg. So that's
People
stupid. I'm sure there's a painting of him somewhere eating.
People had a memory that the above portrait of Henry VIII featured him eating or holding a turkey leg. But no such painting has. What?
It's probably just a different painting.
Yeah. There have, however, been similar cartoons created. This may be related to the common knowledge of Henry VIII as a large man. Luke, I am your father. Ah, okay, fun.
That's what I knew.
If you saw Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, you probably remember Darth Vader uttering the famous line, Luke, I am your father.
Hey, can you stop
in
real
the
quick?
Yeah.
I think you don't even need to have seen Empire Strikes Back. I think every single person with the internet knows that line.
Yeah, but that's not the right line though.
No, it's
It's
no, I am your father.
Yeah, not Luke.
And he says no Luke in the conversation, but he doesn't say it there.
You might be surprised to learn then that the line was actually no, I am your father. Most people have memories of the line being the former rather than the latter, and it is commonly quoted incorrectly. Mirror, mirror on the wall. If you watch Snow White and the Seven Dwarves, you probably remember the line "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all." As you can see from the above subtitled screenshot, the line actually began with the phrase "magic mirror" instead. It probably doesn't help matters that Julia Roberts and Lily Collins starred in the 2012 action film based on Snow White called "Mirror, Mirror." I did not know that. Was.
I also think that there's a line in the original play or the original like story, like before Disney owned it and shit, where it is mirror mirror. I think so too. I think I looked into that one. I think the very original like tale, she says mirror mirror at one point. Yeah, I think it's the whole like sing-songy thing. It's like because Lord of the Rings does that a lot too with a lot of like their characters, like they have like sing-songy little things, but that's what Tolkien did. It's kind of like in that old story. I believe she says, "Magic mirror on the wall, mirror, mirror on the wall, something." You know what I mean? It's like something like that.
Yeah.
So she does go way back when, but she doesn't say it in the movie.
How is the location of New Zealand? Mandela effect.
What? Huh? New Zealand just gone. Doesn't exist.
Where is New Zealand in relation to Australia? If you look at a map, you will see that it is south.
That's not a Mandela effect. That just proves how many fucking people don't know anything about geography. Yo, Crimson, if you want to come on, we can send you the link.
Yeah.
This is the most retarded thing I've ever seen. Actually, no, it's not, but it's pretty close. Like, that just proves how many people didn't pay attention to geography. So, Roman, did you know that New Zealand was down there? Please tell me you knew that New Zealand. Where did you think New Zealand was, Roman? Where did you think New Zealand was, Roman? Answer the question.
Honest, I thought it was near like Germany or something.
What the fuck? That's in the middle. That's landlocked. They all speak like Australians there. Have you heard Peter Jackson? it was near
Germany. Dude.
You're one of them. You're one of them. You're one of the Mandela.
I didn't.
You're one of them.
This turned into the Roller Room cast, bro.
I was talking about you. Finish reading it.
So
finish fucking reading it.
So it literally says here, if you look at a map, you will see that it is southeast of the country. However, there is a community of people who claim to remember New Zealand being northeast instead of southeast. That one is wild.
In Germany.
Dude.
Newfoundland is in Canada. Okay, so it's not that. Do you know where New Jersey is?
Yes, dude. Jersey's like
I'm sorry,
above us.
I'm sorry.
Because
one of them.
Jersey's above us because it's on the way to New York. Okay, I know that much.
Because you don't even believe that they all thought it was northeast. You were like, no, fuck that, it's in Germany, and they're like,
dude,
no. Roman's like at the meeting, and they're all like, "Where's New Zealand?" And they're like, "I'm telling you, dude, it's definitely northeast." And then he's like, "It's in Germany, I swear to God." And they're like,
"I didn't say in, I said near."
Get him out of here! And a couple other people.
I said near Germany.
Yeah, Roman, where is Australia?
Near New Zealand.
Good answer.
Anyway, the Berenstein Bears won. Apparently,
aren't they saying it's like Stein, or it was never Stein, but it's Steen, or it is Stein?
The famous children's book series, the Berenstain Bears, created by Stan and Jan Berenstain, is not immune to the Mandela effect. Many people report remembering the name being the Berenstein Bears, spelled with an E instead of an A. But we all say the Berenstein Bears. Shazam starring Sinbad. What?
Wait. Pull up Dog's comment. Interesting.
What's up, Crimson?
Oh my God! I thought you were wearing a ski mask or something. Like,
no,
your whole face was just like you blackfaced for a second.
No, I'm literally like just got home and ate dinner. Like, I don't know how many minutes ago, 15. So
after this,
you get the messy after work Crimson here.
Mom's making meatloaf, so
that sounds awesome.
Yeah,
Dog said, I believe it to be a slow tactic of sowing doubt and distrust and distort reality little by little to the point that people with true evidence in the face refuse to believe it. That is definitely true.
Yo, so like psyop kind of stuff.
Glizzy. What's up,
Glizzy?
No, it's just Glizzy. There's no Glizzy.
So
Glizzy.
So, Crimson, before we continue forward, how much about the Mandela effect do you know of?
Well, I saw that you guys were streaming this, so while I was eating, I was reading an article about the Mandela effect.
Yeah, how could you?
So I understood.
Poster or thumbnail on the back.
I'm like, and I kind of understood like the vague premise of it. It's like remembering something that didn't actually exist.
Do you have one?
I have. Yeah, I've experienced this before, and it's not anything like super like huge or impressive. But there was this one time I went over to a friend's house and I brought my like Nintendo DS with me, and I could swear I had brought my charger with me, and I couldn't find it in my bag when I was going home. When I got home, it was sitting on my desk, and I'm just like, "What the fuck?"
What?
Yeah,
it was sitting on
like
your
I
desk.
vividly remember like moving it out of the way while I was pulling the DS out of the bag at their house, and then I get home and the charger is sitting right on my desk.
That's wild.
I'm losing my marbles. Something's wrong.
I've had that happen to me with stuff before. Where I'm like, I swear I did this. Like whatever it is, like it can be something as simple as that. It's like I know I did that. I remember doing it. I just didn't do it.
Pilgrim while being retarded.
Yeah, kind of is. Kind of is.
I mean, yes.
To be fair, sometimes I was probably
to be
like,
fair.
to be fair, to be fair.
So, how many of you actually thought that Pikachu had like a black tip tail? Because I always thought that he had one. It says many people
I never thought about it. I really never did.
Many people report remembering Pikachu as having a black tipped tail, which is weird. I don't know why people. Mickey Mouse wore suspenders?
Steamboat Willie.
Mickey Mouse might be the most famous cartoon character in the world, but even Disney's famous mouse is often misremembered in the minds of fans. People often report the character wearing suspenders when he does not. The original Mickey is wearing shorts, but is completely unclothed on the top half of his body. Okay, that one is interesting. What? I don't care about that one. No, really, it's not Looney Tunes.
They were trying to groom him even back then.
So, this one is
a psyop.
Looney Tunes.
Yes, like music.
GIF.
No, it's GIF. It's GIF.
People thought that GIF was Jiffy. I never thought GIF was Jiffy.
I never really paid attention to peanut butter brands. I'm just like, well, peanut butter and jelly is peanut butter and jelly.
How the fuck could they get?
No, this one, I don't know how people thought like Curious George had a tail.
How could they get peanut butter confused with oil?
What's up, dog?
Hey, how you doing?
What's up, boys?
What up, buddy?
What's happening?
Yeah, no, Curious George. I had that book, so I know he did not have no tail. Never once.
Why do people think that he had one though?
If he had a tail,
because he's a monkey and he should have a tail.
No, he's a chimp.
And his I'm pretty sure he's an ape.
His mischievous little monkey butt would have gotten himself into more trouble with his little tail.
Fair
so
enough.
It's a good thing he didn't have a tail.
I feel like I see him as more of a monkey. That's why I picture a tail.
I see you as more of a monkey.
Yellow hat, quite a problem.
Racist.
Yes, I am.
The wrong. Why is that just like some dollar store picture of a fucking Fruit Loops?
You can thank Kellogg's for this entry. While the very well-known cereal is supposedly fruit flavored, they decided to lean into the loops and double up on the double O, opting for Fruit Loops instead of Fruit Loops. Much to our surprise, I always thought that it was spelled Fruit, not Froot.
I don't think I've ever noticed one way or the other, to be honest.
I'm laughing at that, yo.
So, like I said, this came up on Joe Rogan the other day, and Jamie actually found where this lady goes back into her dad's closet and finds a shirt with a tag on it that has a cornucopia from back in the day.
What?
Yeah, they actually I have seen this tag.
Yeah, I had that tag, dude. I had that.
Actually did change it.
Back when I was little,
of this underwear. That's what sparked up my comment earlier. That a lot of this, you could, if you wanted to put your tinfoil hat on, you could make a case that it's to just sow doubt and discourse and
well, it could just be a case of like fake J's, but I don't know why someone want to fake a Fruit of the Loom shirt.
Fake J's.
C-3PO's leg?
It's in the movie, dude.
Huh?
It's always been silver. It's always been
I wonder if because of the quality of the picture when it came out,
that's what it was.
People just didn't really notice. So when people bring it up, oh no, he had a silver leg. What the fuck are you talking about? You literally couldn't really tell anyway.
But then in George's in the special editions, it's very clear that he has a silver leg throughout the entire like 3 movies. I think except maybe Return of the Jedi, he's all gold. I don't know. But
did George ever give a purpose for that? Why he always has a part that's fucked up?
Well, he doesn't in Revenge of the Sith.
Except for in Revenge of the Sith. Is it
all the time he's perfect. He even has the silver leg in Clone Wars.
I agree with Pilgrim.
In parts of Clone Wars until he gets fully gold or something. And I think the reasoning for that is that I think he wants to keep part of his old body. That's what I assumed. There's like some little short story about the reason.
Represented something with Anakin.
That's what I'm assuming. It's kind of just a part of Anakin. So
am I a moron for thinking that Mr. Monopoly always did have a monocle? I swear that he had one. Like, he definitely did.
I swear that he had one too, but that might just be us operating on the same autistic wavelength.
You're thinking of Peanut.
Well, the Peanut doesn't either, right?
I think he does.
No, the Peanut does.
I thought the Peanut didn't.
The Peanut looks like him because they have a top hat, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, Uncle Kenobi's here. What's up, buddy?
Kenobi, right?
Yeah.
He definitely did.
I'm kind of with Gray, lack of knowledge, but also it's a good example of
Pilgrim and I are operating on the same level.
Believing so heavy in your memory, although, or spouting out something that you don't truly know, but you're saying it as fact. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Answer Ronnie's question. This is the Mandela effect. Like you remembering your dad. It never actually happened.
You could have done better.
I could have, yeah.
You could have done better. That was
really could have.
But
oh my god,
reusing an old joke that I already hit him with.
Yo, actually, Ronnie, Roman is one of them. Roman's one of them that believes this shit. He didn't know. He thought New Zealand was next to fucking Germany.
Dude,
what?
Stop, bro. Listen.
That's old.
I didn't know where it was.
You thought New Zealand was next to Germany?
Yes. I said he's one of them because they all thought.
Not the Mandela effect.
Here's the thing. I'll explain it again. Roman's there. He's at the meeting of all the people that think that New Zealand is not next to Australia, and they're like, "No, it's up there. It's northeast." So they thought it was northeast, and Roman's like, "No, Germany." And then they have this falling out, just like the Mandalorians when Maul takes over, and they have to run out. Roman and like a couple other dudes because they're the ones who think it's in Germany, and they still believe it to this day that New Zealand is next to Germany.
You know what, Roland? It's not.
Everyone in the room is stupider for having heard that. I award you no points.
This is
in the picture of most Americans. Roman's probably still doing better. There's some very disheartening videos that.
Oh yeah,
you can't even name.
There are some people that can't even
Gundam
that don't even know half of where our states are.
It's a Gundam.
Not just know where they are. Know their names.
I was gonna say,
somebody didn't know how many
was covering some like TikTok stuff, and he was talking. There's this guy who goes around asking like basic ass questions that how many Americans should know. And he asked one person like, "Do you know what countries border the U.S.?"
You could even
Texas
give an easier one and ask how many, and they probably still couldn't say.
Dude. He goes, "How many moons does Earth have?" She's like, "I don't know, 3." Yeah, at the end of the stream, when we're off, I'll show you that clip, dude. It is fucking hilarious.
It's supposed to have a total eclipse here really soon.
Yes.
You guys depends on your location, I think.
Totality, I think.
For me, it'll be like I think I'm in the 90% range.
Yeah, I'm gonna see it at like 75 or something. I was there in 2017 in Oregon for totality, in Teddy Roosevelt National Park. That was
the one in like.
We camped and there was like a fuck ton of people just camping, partying all night, and then we woke up in the morning and saw the eclipse. And if you've never seen a total eclipse or like 90%. Dude, the ground starts to look like this. Like you get these weird shadows of snakes. and like it's fucking nutty. It's everything
like
is
nighttime.
No, it's everything is dark. Everything is dark except for a little line on the horizon. The little line on the horizon is bright on because that's where the sun's still hitting. It's
April 8th is when it's supposed to be.
Yeah, enjoy it, dude. It's really fucking cool. Like, make sure you get your
glasses. Don't look like directly into it.
Yeah, make sure you get your glasses though. They have them on Amazon.
Stare directly at the sun. It's amazing.
Put on your safety squints.
Yeah.
There were people that thought that the Mona Lisa, that she was actually smiling. Like, how do people see this kind of stuff?
She was never smiling.
You have no right to judge, considering you thought New Zealand was by Germany.
Okay, do you know why they thought? Do you know why they thought she was smiling? Because they went to a haunted house and had that fucking like hologram version, and they walked past it, and she went. That's why. That's literally the reason. Black hole, son. So I'm just responding to Uncle Kenobi. Mandela.
Y'all have it really good up there too.
Ooh.
Huh, I could go to like Southern Illinois.
Oh yeah, ramen. You got to go outside. Look, you have to go outside.
I'm in that. Daniel be settled in. You might get it.
I do go outside, bro. Chill.
I'm kidding. I know. You go outside to get in my car and come here and sit.
Be like right on the edge.
Right? Are we Are we gonna be in like total darkness? Or
no?
Here would be like total darkness.
I swear to God, I am not standing in the back of a fish room while that shit's going on. I'm walking outside. If I'm working that day, I'm walking outside.
It'd be
why?
What do you mean why? How many eclipses do you get to see, Roman?
True, but like,
I wonder how many we're gonna get the opportunity to.
Well, there's supposed to be a comet, I think, in a couple years of some kind. That I'm excited for.
We might not see anything after that.
So I was talking to my mom this morning, and she likes watching.
You're talking to me.
She likes watching Forbidden Frontier with Neurotic and stuff. And I was talking to her about. She only watches it through me. It's like she's not watching it on her own, but she'll watch.
I didn't know you were transparent.
Fuck you. And basically,
I don't know about parent, but the first part.
We were talking about like, what's the stars? What's the star like that Jesus like was born under? They like the three wise men followed it.
The North Star.
Well, I know
North Star. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's like another name for it, like in the Bible. But anyway, because it was there for multiple days, there's a theory that it was actually a comet of some kind. Still, I'm not debating that it was.
I don't know if that's.
Hold on. Let me finish. I'm not debating.
Polaris.
I'm not debating that it wasn't.
Polaris is the name of the North Star.
Divine. I'm not saying it wasn't divine intervention, but I'm saying that light stayed there for days. My mom was like, well, when I was a kid and I saw Hale-Bopp's comet, it was in the sky day and night for like 4 or 5 days. You could see it.
I just saw Haley's comet away.
Yeah, right? So, it would be cool if, God was like, just going like this. Boop, 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 boop. There you go.
Is this hold on. I'm sorry. Sorry, this is your show, but is that it's not February yet,
Yeah.
Is that for?
Well, it's not June yet, and these two are having a podcast together. So.
Good one.
Fuck you.
Isn't February Black Month?
Yeah.
Right? I thought so.
Yeah, they get the shortest month of the year.
You're just preemptively.
No, it's just he looked up a picture of Mandela and it happened to be one of him at a rally. Are you surprised?
Oh, I'm sorry. They all look alike. Continue.
I wanted to put. You know what? I'm not going to comment on that. But I never knew that people had a thing where like they put the T into Skechers. I never knew that.
They're not sketching anything with a pencil. Why would it be that?
Well, I
that's normally how you spell sketch.
You could have showed me either one, and I said, "Yeah, those are sketchers."
Yeah, that's true.
Same. I'm not. I don't.
Although the one without the T looks weird.
Honestly, I think that's what like Crimson said earlier with just fake sketchers. That's probably the same shit as like the fake Jordans.
There's one where we
all right, what the fuck
Shaggy's Shaggy's Adam's apple or something. I don't know.
Probably not all the time. Now, when he did the swallow, like when he got nervous, I guarantee you saw it.
Yes, absolutely.
Also, if you think it's bad now, wait till AI is even better. Like the Swifties are freaking out over that AI shit.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
It's gonna get much worse. Like we're
starting
to get to where we can't tell, but you can still tell.
Okay, we've talked about the Mandela effect being a psyop. Is Taylor Swift a psyop?
She's definitely not real.
Dude, the Taylor Swift theory is wild, though. Do you know about it?
Wait a second.
We're in contact with it.
What is the Taylor Swift theory?
Oh, she's like some Satanist reincarnated.
Okay, I wasn't gonna go that far, but
Taylor Swift worships Moloch.
Hang on a minute.
He's eating babies.
Hold on a minute. I'll pull it up. It's wild. It's wild. God. She looks just fucking like this lady from back in the day.
Okay.
It was like some cult leaders.
I've never heard this before.
Pilgrim just goes, the fuck?
Right? I just threw my beer everywhere.
No.
Honestly, if Taylor Swift turned out to be a psyop, I would laugh my ass off at all the people who thought her music was good.
I could easily just go Alex Jones mode.
Isn't the Taylor Swift theory that she's the daughter of the creator of the Church of Satan? What? What? That's what's theorized about Taylor Swift.
That's why she has so many followers, dude, because she just is. She's like.
She sold her soul to the devil.
Poisoning their minds, and those who don't like her music are being saved by God. Honestly, I do think those who don't like her music, whether or not this is true, are being saved by God. But that's just
her music's not that bad, bro.
You're not that bad either.
It's so like basic ass white girl.
I don't know. It just means you're a cool guy. No, her music's
like I feel like I hear Taylor Swift music, and all of a sudden I have this urge to like go, oh my god, I need an iced frappa caramel mocha.
Kenobi, that's Monday Night Mayhem. That's the point of the show, is we just get into random ass bullshit, and I'm actually interested to see what Doug has to say.
Yeah, same. I'm kind of curious. Roman is the Swiftie. I like her older music better than her new music.
Well, when she did country, she was actually like kind of low key and cool.
Bro, what?
So there's a crazy conspiracy theory.
It's just the Mandela effect, guys.
She's a clone.
Taylor Swift's not real.
A former satanic leader.
A clone? Did they throw her from a vat?
Like no.
What proof do they have other than just they look alike?
I believe this one was a singer as well. Yep, an artist, musician. Yeah. Daughter of the founder behind the Church of Satan.
Of course you do, Pilgrim. Of course you do. Not shocking.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't go super deep other than the resemblance is uncanny. But it's just interesting that things like these come up.
Here's the thing. I know my own doppelganger in real life. It's hilarious. We constantly get confused with brothers. So, like, the idea of someone looking like almost identical and not being related whatsoever.
That's weird.
Who's your doppelganger? Is he famous?
You met him. He was on the show with you a while back.
But it's also this also begs the question though too.
Okay.
Something else that I don't know if you guys want to get into this now, but there's something else though. Like, and I'm not saying that this theory is totally wrong, but how much cloning have they done? Like,
I mean, it's possible. I mean, I'm sure if it's possible to clone animals at this point, they've definitely. I know
you can have your cat cloned.
Yeah. I know it is. So they've definitely. It's not gonna be your cat though. Star Wars has taught us how cloning works. They're all different people, god damn it. But
I was about to say, cloning only like reproduces like physical information. It doesn't make a brand new, like a complete copy of a person with all their memories and all that.
Really, really want them to clone some megafauna, not dinosaurs,
mammoths.
But
they're gonna do mammoths.
Yeah, if you can do a motherfucking dire wolf and I can go see it, I'll kiss you.
As Jurassic Park taught you, fuck all.
Right. But we're going to run into the same problems as extinct animals don't have rights. We're going to run into that same problem.
That's true. Extinct animals don't have rights because their clones won't have rights. I guarantee you they have already
technically belong to a lab.
Guarantee you, not just test tube babies, but they have actually cloned people before. 100% guarantee you it's happened. They have human-animal hybrids in China, and that's fucking proven. Harvard has a fucking document on it.
Bro, I've heard more and more about this.
Human and cow DNA, human and pig DNA, human and goat DNA made these fucking human-animal hybrids that were like.
I would think though, if you clone a person, do you clone them via their DNA or do you clone them like with their like brain? Like how?
No, so that's where I think this is going. I think we very well might be.
No, Pilgrim, no Biden clones.
Hold on. He has body doubles. I'm almost sure of that.
No, but, there was just a ton of them. That would be terrible. They're all in the same room, like.
America's a nation that's summed up in one word.
Yeah, no, but
I'm trying to get to the point that I think we might be part of the last generation that may live out our time in our bodies and stop there. Because we're getting closer and closer to being able to upload our consciousness into some kind of file that could be re-uploaded into
Transcendence,
a cloned body.
Ex Machina Transcendence, yeah.
I'm going to go with Handsome Jack on this one. Digital immortality. The diet soda of immortality.
Yeah,
I feel like Elon Musk will find a way to do that. That's like probably what's going to happen.
If they do that, let's say a fuck ton of people do it, that's like it will become a dystopian future eventually, and there's gonna be a person at some point who breaks out of it or was never in it in the first place and shuts it down.
Or you can think like Joe Rogan does too, and think that we just stop trying with physical form anyway. We just basically become.
How the fuck do we create?
We just become intelligence.
Yeah, so
we
that's
just
like a plot point in the Ark series.
Yeah, that's gay though. I'd rather go out and explore space. That's retarded.
So like we just
you would
become.
You wouldn't have limitation of age or deterioration. You could send some kind of craft. Like that might be what the crafts that were.
You're describing Sword Art Online. That type, but like you just never leave the system.
That's simulation theory. That's different. That's simulation.
I was about to say that's simulation theory.
That's simulation.
Not a simulation. You becoming intelligent.
It is.
You are still living a life that
you're in a simulation.
Okay.
I'm with Dog on this. Sword Art is more like a simulation theory. If we're talking about what Dog's saying, Ark actually gets closer because the people who used to live on the Arks basically become like beings of pure energy. They exist on another plane. And they can still interact with other things, but they're effectively like ephemeral. They don't have a true physical form.
So
yeah, it sounds gay.
I think that what's gonna happen is
wouldn't be cool. I would rather like still be in my corporeal form.
I would too, but that's the direction we seem to be going.
I think that humans are going to find a way.
Consciousness. All humans would probably.
Roman's trying to get something out.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I think the humans are gonna find a way to like, I'm not so like subscribed to the clone theory or that like we turn into a higher sort of a consciousness, but I think that within our lifetimes, humans will find a way to become immortal, and then maybe it'll be a choice as to like, whether we like want to die or not. And
so on that point, let me pose to you already. We're already part cyborg. We keep a little thing of knowledge and history on us at any point, all the time. We're always connected to it. It's just not physically a part of our body yet. We can't access it instantaneously. But as soon as we can start doing some kind of implant, which is coming, as soon as we can start do that, and a mere thought is able to look up that raw data. And what does ChatGPT do now? I mean, it basically scours the internet and all different kind of things, and it pulls from what it finds. Now, it can be skewed and it can be manipulated right now and everything like that. But in its rawest form, it should be able to just pull information from the entire database that we have, and you would have it instantaneously. At that point, we are now like full on cyborg. And if you don't get the implant, you will be left behind from those with it.
They will have Elon Musk already working on something like that, the whole brain chip thing.
Yeah, that's for something different. I can explain Neuralink in a second. That's for something different. But dog, think about it this way. Do you remember?
I want my high heels to turn into a shotgun, boy.
That'd be sick. But do you remember when they first came out with the chip cards? And everybody hated it, but then you had to like
oh yeah.
But then every single machine at every place then was only like using the chip cards. Your card didn't work, so you
the slide didn't work anymore. Yeah,
get it.
Aren't all of our cards chipped now?
Yes, they're
all chipped, right?
Yeah, I've never actually used the chip on my card. Nowhere around me like ever switched them out. It was just something that happened.
Have they gone to tap yet too, or no?
Yeah,
they do have that, but the stuff around me is mostly just like you insert, you're done.
Well, insert is the chip.
Is that what you do, Crimson? You insert.
You can still do the slide thing too. It's
right.
You could always do the slide thing, but as long as you insert and you're done, it's just good to go.
Which I loved because the slide always stopped working about 9 months into the card's life. So
this sounds oddly sexual if you take it out of context. By the way,
that's what I'm saying.
What is it?
But
you just insert when you're done, dog.
Oh,
but to like to Crimson's point, he said that like Elon Musk is like working on like a brain chip. That like that could really be like a game changer because
it's called Neuralink. He's actually working on it.
So the thing that's supposed to do, according to him, you can never truly believe what it's supposed to do, and I certainly won't be testing it out myself. But
I won't be the first one.
I won't be the first one for sure. But
we're not going to be able to. It's only going to be like the super rich.
It's supposed to help with cognitive abilities of people that have brain damage, veterans, shit like that. Neck problems with the neurons being able to fire. It's just supposed to regulate all that stuff, but be in your head.
How would we know that won't be used for bad stuff?
I don't know, dude, because I watched Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
How does this not create a doc op?
What if someone hacks it and plays Dog Song on a loop for eternity?
Someone hacks the Neuralink and it's just blasting freaking that song from GTA
Venga Bus
one where the Mexican one, but it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, din, 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 din,
yeah.
Yeah.
No, so basically what Elon would you'd be able to have your Spotify playlist in your head. That would be absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I don't know, Kenobi. Dog started talking about Taylor Swift being Satan's daughter. So that's just kind of how it started.
I tap whenever I can, but keep other cards away from the sensor. Had one read my credit card in my wallet while holding it next to it. What?
Whoa!
Yeah, that's actually a thing. People can. There's a way to steal people's credit card information because of these chips, just by passing something close to it.
Yeah, I don't know anybody that's had that happen to them though. Shit.
Yeah.
Well, my work, we're very on top of it because we have crackheads that come into my job sometimes.
I mean, I work in an industry that has a lot of people who do drugs and stuff. So, unfortunately, if it's a small company and I know no one working for us is doing drugs or anything, but like
we always like slowly shoo them out because I never buy anything. Except for the guys who smoke weed, I'll tell you, a ton of stoners come in there and buy like hundreds of dollars worth of fish. Because stone dudes like to sit there and play the PlayStation and be like, "Hey, yo, that's a sick ass fish, yo. That shit's huge. Just eating all the fishes and shit."
So here's something else that like
They're
here's
cool
like another angle to that whole chip thing. Crimson and Rolo, you guys are religious, right?
I am, yes. You can
I
pretty much say I'm like just like plain Christian, I guess you could say.
I believe what I believe. I am confirmed. But I believe what I believe, which is that there's a higher power. But I'm not going to be the one to determine whether there's one higher power or 1,000. There could be a god for podcasts. I don't fucking know.
So my question is,
there's a higher power.
Would you guys maybe think that like the Neuralink chip that eventually when it comes out that might be like what the mark of the beast is?
I was gonna say the mark of the beast. Well, here's one of the things like about that, which kind of brings up an interesting angle. I had Daimyo on my show a while back, and we talked about how Elon Musk is like trying to transition X into like or Twitter into like the everything app that he wanted to. And so that would be like doing all your banking and stuff and all that through the app. So I would imagine if he develops this Neuralink thing, it'll be linked to his everything app, which I can see the angle on that. But let's put it this way: RFID chips were going to be the mark of the beast. Cryptocurrencies were the mark of the beast. Everyone talks about these things like they know for certain. And really, there's no predicting it when it comes to that kind of stuff. People were saying that it was the end times back in World War II. Look where we are now.
So, in my opinion, the mark of the beast is not one specific thing. It's a mentality. Now, the mark of the beast is, if we fully become machine, we'll lose our spirituality and our humanity. That's the mark of the beast. In my opinion.
Interesting. Kenobi, thank you.
See you later, Kenobi.
So you don't think that it's an actual mark? You think that it's us turning into like mechanical beings?
I think it's
using our free will.
Our humanity is the mark of the beast.
I think it will be something physical. Because I mean, it does say like you will not be able to buy or sell or anything without the mark of the beast. So obviously, it's going to be something that either is like you will need it in order to just like get around society.
It's gonna happen.
My camera fucked off. Okay,
it's gonna be like
or it'll be something physical that people can see.
So, did you play Cyberpunk 2077?
Me? No.
Yeah. Okay, so I played it. By the way, I have to say, thanks to my Xbox, very brand new, I did not have any problems or glitches. I had one game-breaking glitch, and I looked it up on Reddit, and it said, just resave that point, and you're good. And I did it, and within 5 minutes, it fixed it. And I never had a problem with the game ever since. No performance issues or nothing. But what I'm saying is...
Did it change my camera?
It did. You look whiter. But
yeah, let me see what I can do about it. It's using my integrated camera instead of my stream camera for some reason.
And you're freezing.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go. That's better. But
I don't know what happened.
Basically, as I'm playing that game, as I'm in the world, as I'm walking around, talking to all these different people, doing stuff around the areas, I'm realizing more and more how that is where I believe the world will go. I really genuinely do think that Cyberpunk 2077 is the closest adaptation that I've seen since Decker. Fucking Harrison Ford.
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner. Yes.
Yeah.
Like Blade Runner and Cyberpunk are like that's like if you could combine that's where I see our world going.
See, I see the world going more towards Fallout.
Well, yeah, if this wait fucking 10 years for that will already be there. We just don't have
Fallout. I mean, hell, you see what's going on right now in the United States?
Texas? No one's talking about it up here in the north, dude. No one's talking about it. It's not on the news. It's not fucking anywhere. My mom was like, what are you talking about, Texas? And she watches the news every night.
Interesting. Anyway, back to the apocalypse.
So, like, but like, the reason that I brought up the Mark of the Beast was that Dog was saying that, like, when he was bringing up the theory about, like, people being, like, cloned and having their, like, consciousness shipped into or put into, like, another body, when he said that the people that choose not to are gonna get left behind, that's what made me think about the Mark of the Beast.
If people don't want to do that, they'll become feral.
Yeah, I think that people are going to be forced to.
Yeah,
I think people are going to be forced to.
Like, I think a lot of people should take a slower approach towards adapting, accepting like technological advances. As weird as that may sound, I think there are some cases like I don't care really what your guys' opinions are on this, whether you agree or disagree, but like the jab, I do not think overall it was a beneficial move. I mean, as like a more like memeable experience. Do you guys remember the exploding Note 8s?
I don't know.
Note 9s or whatever. Samsung basically made a phone with a battery malfunction that turned the thing into like
what?
Yeah, that turned the thing into like a hand grenade. People were like on calls and it would explode in their face.
One person had facial reconstruction surgery because it blew up.
So the thing about these new technologies, and like I'm always hesitant when something new comes out. Sure, it may be cool, but I don't necessarily want to be the guinea pig who has to see like, oh, what does this do to a human? I mean, look at like something as innocuous as TikTok and what it's done to the attention span of an entire generation.
Well, do you remember the console? I think it was a PS4's.
The mental space too, not just.
Was it with the PS4 that they were catching fire?
Wasn't one of the Xboxes doing the same?
I don't remember PS4's catching fire, but mine sounds like a jet engine whenever it starts up. So
it was either the PS4 or the Xbox One.
My PS5 sounds that way too.
Fire.
I think it's just
my Series X is fine. I love that thing. It's totally runs fine. I have no problems with it. Every once in a while, it just randomly shuts off from the internet, and I have to like reconnect it to the Wi-Fi. But that's not a problem.
I heard you say too many gamer words.
I didn't say gamer words.
No, but
words are gamer.
The thing is though, kind of like to Crimson's point, like within the last 3 to 4 years, look at how fast AI became like a huge thing. Like back in like 2019, there weren't like YouTube channels dedicated to making AI content. Now it's like one of the biggest things.
Chatbots were a joke, not actual Skynet.
Dude,
we go to them because they would turn into racists within 5 hours.
Crimson, I wish I had the clip from Red versus Blue. AI. What's the A stand for?
It was 2018.
You know Red versus Blue, right? By the way. I thought you did know Red versus Blue.
Me? No.
The Halo show that like Rooster Teeth made? AI.
No, the only Rooster Teeth I ever watched was Ruby, and I kind of regret that one.
Well,
the thing is, though,
for the first couple of seasons, and then you can cut off. You don't have to. The story ends. So
we should let Roman's over here. We should let him do some speaking.
No, that's fine. The thing is, though, it like just about the technological advances. Like, think back to like 5 to 7 years back, right? Did you guys think AI would be as prevalent like now because I certainly didn't. Like,
I thought it was going to take like 50 years to get to where we are today.
Honestly, the only AI that I was worried about was Cortana back then. Quite seriously. Like that's all I thought about.
You just wanted to be clapping some digital cheeks.
No, I literally was just like I was playing Halo or watching
clapping at digital cheeks.
So I'm only worried about like AI in a video game standpoint of like characters in a video game or characters in like movies. Like that's the only AI that I'm thinking of. I'm not thinking that
but like now we can like
we're gonna have that shit now.
There's gonna be a name change soon too. They're gonna stop calling it artificial because it's not really artificial, to be totally honest.
Synthetic intelligence, like digital intelligence.
That's the right word.
Digital intelligence.
It's kind of just becoming intelligence.
Yeah, but they can't call it intelligence.
There's literally like an AI companion. People can date an AI.
Synthesized intelligence. That's what it would be.
Oh my god.
Synthesized intelligence. But the thing is though, now it's part of our daily lives, and it's like not even so much AI, but like automation. Like when you walk into McDonald's, how many have like zero people in them now? There's like maybe
there's
3 of every 7.
Yeah, I mean, I went to Taco Bell tonight, and there was only 2 people, but I think that's just because that Taco Bell got screwed up.
They make you use the kiosk now. I get your point.
I didn't go.
They're not.
Yeah.
I want to see Crimson climb that ladder.
That was a weird thing to say, Roland. No, but like, or it's just how like
one of these
technologies.
Days, if we have the technology to like start his camera from far away, Crimson, you should just start it and not be there, and like poke your head up from up on top of the bed and just like come down upside down.
Hello, precious.
That's what I'm saying. That would be amazing.
No, but like the thing is though, technology is so like prevalent to our lives now that if there's ever like a major blackout, the world's gonna go insane. Which is like
I'm not.
I mean, I kind of live out in the country anyway, so I'll probably be fine. I don't know about you city folk. The issue is I'm a little too close to Chicago to be comfortable.
Dude, I'm fully Boy Scout kitted out. I've been camping in the middle of Bumblefuck for like 2 weeks before with no cell service. I'm good to go. I can fish and eat. I'll be fine. I will go and find a random ass mountain in the Poconos, and no one will ever find me. I
always said if you wanted to attack the home front, like
I agree with Pilgrim on that one.
You start with the grid.
Ooh.
You start with the grid going down.
Yep.
And the infighting does itself.
Pilgrim's correct.
EMP
war, probably. Honestly,
that's if it's nukes anyway, they give off an EMP. So
we already have missiles that can just be launched and just go and pop, and it disperses an EMP, kind of the same way as
like that for a while.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing as a nuke. It drops at like a certain level. Well, it has to be clicked. It's not the same thing. It just knows.
I loaded one in Afghanistan.
Yeah, didn't they just? I think they just used one recently, but it like EMP'd a portion.
No. So this one was for high value personnel.
Is that what it was?
It was like a lead vehicle, and it would pulsate these waves that would fry the battery cells and the power cells to
so it like knocks out like technology in literally everything, right?
Well,
is that what it does?
Like, that specific one was designed to fry battery cells.
I'm talking about the missile one, the one that drops and doesn't blow up, but it just pops open.
If they had a mobile one, I guarantee they had one in ballistics too. I guarantee.
Yeah, because I've heard about one that it can cover a wider range of area because it kind of creates a electrical bubble in a way. You don't see it, of course, but it creates a field almost that just boom shocks everything out.
Personally, to this point, I think the next war is gonna be over who takes over like the moon, because I think that like the space war is going to be something big.
No, I feel like terrestrial resources are going to be the next cause of war. I mean, even right now, I mean, you have China really wants control of everything in its like proxy. That includes, Korea, Japan, Taiwan. So that's probably going to be the theater of the next war.
You just broke my brain, bro. You made me just go dismiss to the bus.
What?
We're going to the moon.
The moon?
You don't think that there's going to be a war over like
you know what?
And like
if Trump becomes president, Space Force might have to join up if I become a space marine. Kind of sick.
Is that like an official branch now?
Yeah,
it's been since he made it a thing. I thought,
dude, they have sick ass uniforms too. They look like.
Do they even do anything though?
They look like Oni from Halo. They look sick.
Yeah, so they basically are taking and allocating resources that were already being conducted by the Air Force, more of like satellite wise.
Yeah, it's nothing crazy.
Yeah, it's not like we're putting a fucking base out there and people are learning how to shoot in space because
we're not building Halo rings or anything like that.
Yeah, projectiles don't work in space.
It's mainly cyber and satellite protection and deterrence.
They still have
maintaining superiority in that regard. But the Air Force was doing that. But really it's so important now, and there's so many resources and time that needs to go into that Trump decided to make its own branch. And it probably wasn't really his idea. There's probably people in the Pentagon that were like, look, we need we need budget fixes for that and all kinds of things.
That's actually like a fascinating branch though, because I think that's going to play a vital part in our future.
Yeah, it's the UNSC, dude.
Especially
look at the uniform.
Yo, those are cool.
It's the UNSC.
Those are sick.
But right now they're just not the UNSC yet. They don't have space.
I'm saying that I think that there might come a time, and I mean, dog, you would know this better than probably any of us, but there's probably going to come a time where like total boots on the ground might be like eliminated, and it's all just like plane and ship fighting. And like
we already had those thoughts, but look at Ukraine.
We just lost 6 good men.
Because the thought is that it wouldn't be over actual territory and land, but that's
one of those guys was from
and resources. It's about resources. It's not about the land. It's about the resources that are on the land. That's why Russia wants them, and Ukraine wanted to be part of NATO, cross the line. That was not part of the deal. Russia warned that's what would happen, and there it is. So here's your quick rundown. But before that happened, we were like, it's pretty much all special forces strike teams and drone and cyber. That's pretty much where warfare was going. Now we have tanks and small arms fire and like stuff you didn't think was really gonna be needed anymore. But here we are.
Yeah, it's like I feel like we as a society go like 2 steps forward, then we take like 4 steps backward. like we like make like advances, and then we just go back to like 10 years prior afterward. It's even like in like trends of things. It's like things from like the 80s and 90s, like phones for like the longest time were like getting smaller and smaller, and then now phones are getting bigger. Like back in like the like 1980s, phones were huge. Now phones are getting bigger.
How many people in our high school dressed like they were from the 70s.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Fuck ton of people dressed like they were from the 60s or 70s.
I think
progress is still happening.
Oh my god, dude! I feel like I'm about to. I feel like I'm about to.
I'll just say, if we start progressing back towards the dress standards of like the 40s and 50s, I think everything would look a lot nicer.
I agree.
Fuck, goddamn.
There was this one
man.
This one chick just got a ton of shit for something because she dressed like that all the time or something like that. She looked like she was from the 50s, and that's just how she liked to dress. And people were like,
"You're doing like the trad wife shtick that was going around."
I don't know what that even means, but she was doing she just looked like Wanda from WandaVision in the beginning, like wearing like the 50s look, you know, like the secretary look or whatever. Like, and she just liked to dress that way. She got a ton of shit for it. I'm like, that's retarded. Like,
sounds like some Twitter bullshit.
Oh, that's what it was, of course. But there was also articles made on it, and that's just stupid.
Who cares? Why does that matter? Let people
wanted
dress
to be a
how they want to dress.
She said that she wanted to be a traditional wife, stay at home, clean the house, take care of the kids, do the dishes.
So she was doing the whole trad wife thing. Now I understand why Twitter was pissed.
What does trad mean? Explain to me.
Traditional. It's just she
wanted to be a traditional mother and wife.
You could post on the Twitter.
Why is that bad?
That's in direct defiance of the modern feminine movement. That's why it's bad.
You could post.
I guarantee you, the feminists of the original feminine movement would be disgusted with the way that it is now.
They are.
I think it's been watered down too.
No, it's been hijacked. It hasn't been watered down.
It's been hijacked by people who don't want to face the consequences of their own actions, and now they're pissed that everyone else is like, if you do that, there's going to be negative consequences, right?
Yep.
The people that I was talking about earlier, that you slowly introduce to them nonsense until they don't perceive reality the way they're supposed to. They don't comprehend fact when it's right in front of their fucking face. They're completely brain dead. They're an absolute puppet for whatever propaganda they subscribe to, and that's why you see so many Karens now, when they're just absolutely ballistic and acting like a child in a tantrum, and you're like, how does this even happen? How does this stop? They are completely out of their
for nothing,
mind.
Guys,
they're so angry for nothing.
I dealt with a Karen at work on the phone. It was terrible. It was a horrible experience. I'm being so nice, and she's just like keeps telling me the same thing. These fish died 4 days after I bought them from there. I'm like, okay, well, we can't do anything about that because I don't know what your water is. I don't know if you fucked up, but our fish were clean and our fish are healthy. So ain't fucking us.
Have you guys noticed that most of these Karens they look very similar?
Yes, they do.
They've probably been cloned.
She called. She then she wanted to talk to a manager, so I just grabbed my buddy and I was like, "Yo, the manager's
seriously." She wanted to talk to a manager.
So then she talked to my friend. She talked to my friend for like fucking 30 minutes, and then the manager finally comes on and she talks to him for like another 30 minutes, and then she calls the front and she talks to the front for like another 30-40 minutes, and she took up like 4 hours of our freaking day, and then she said her husband was going to come up here and fight our manager, and then
those like community groups that like towns will have like they'll have like on like social media where people can go for like news and stuff. Yeah. Some Karen,
the watch group,
threw a huge hissy fit in one of the local towns here over a 6-inch Subway sandwich. What? Like this massive freaking tantrum about how it wasn't done right. And my brother, who works at said Subway, was like going through it. And he's like, yeah, I actually dealt with this woman. And he explained literally everything that she did wrong up to that point. And like why the order came out the way it was. I'm like,
Jesus Christ. Dude, we had somebody
personal responsibility. Everybody's a victim.
So
that's the mentality.
That's the thing. And it's funny, too, because Roman and I both dealt with one. I don't know, not directly, but he'll know what I'm talking about with our school logo.
Oh, yeah.
So this woman was
personally, I just didn't really care, to be honest.
She was like 4% Cherokee.
Did you have to switch from the Indians to something more appropriate?
We couldn't be the Redskins anymore, which had been there since 1965.
Wasn't the original Redskins logo designed by a Native American?
Our school is named after a Native American tribe, the Neshaminy. We're named after a Native American tribe, the entire school, and literally it's on their land. That's why we named it after them. And she wanted to switch, and she doesn't even. Her kids can't even go there because she lives like 2 towns over. So it's
not her. Yeah.
He has to signal she's a good person, Rolo. Come on.
And like she's like 5% because you can look it up. She's like fucking 5% Native American, and she had
how
was bitched for like 4 years until they were like, fine, we'll get rid of the name Redskins. And it's like, what the fuck? Why? Like
it's like how
so we either change everything, but our principal
she's like 164th.
We're all Native American.
I'm probably more black than Elizabeth Warren is. Native American.
I don't think I have any Native in me.
No, everybody statistically, it's been proven that every single one of us at this point in time, because of how long humans have been in America, we all have a little bit of that DNA at some.
I don't think so.
Yeah, well, the convergence point for everyone having a common ancestor.
Family immigrants came at the turn of the century. They didn't. No.
I'm saying
no. My lineage has no Native in them at all.
Neither does mine. But I'm saying is that it is a undetectable minuscule amount statistically. That's what it should be.
I'm calling cap on that.
Oh, you can look it up, but that's what I'm saying. It should be. I don't know. They were just talking about it the other day on Forbidden Frontier.
It sounds smart.
Now, here's something that's really wild. Like you would think that you would have to go really, really, really like back to some prehistoric times in order to find a common ancestor for all of the human race. It only takes a couple thousand years, actually.
Yes, exactly. It's not that far.
Yeah. And something
now we probably all have Genghis Khan in us.
We do.
No daimyo does.
Are you saying he's gay?
Ah! Well, yes, we are, but that's not what we're talking about.
Because if that's the case, then Rolo has a little bit of Roman in him.
Fuck you.
Stop, bro.
I am not
a little bit. Right, choice of words.
Something that kind of. It's not like a disturbing thought, but it's
your ass off, you little twat.
I'm laughing at what dog said.
You fucking dickhead. I'm gonna hate you too.
It kind of just makes me wonder,
what do you mean?
If we accept what the Bible says, and more humans came out of Noah's Ark than came in. But it was all Noah's family. Does that mean that by all technicality, the human race were all related to each other in some way? That's something that
I don't think
I kind of always thought of
the right example for that, but Adam and Eve is more of an appropriate one.
So
but
Noah
the reason that I say that is that
Noah had multiple wives.
the human race was completely eradicated when Noah's Ark happened. So people that came from Adam and Eve,
Yoga dry sent back there.
There were
Roman.
Yeah,
I'm gonna stop you right there. What did we talk about last time on Forbidden or on fucking Mayhem?
I don't know
what that were
monsters.
Oceans and the flood theory. Multiple different civilizations survived the Great Flood.
I was gonna say, I feel like I don't know if it says that all of humanity was wiped out except for Noah's family. I would have to double check that. But the story does follow Noah. It shows that he was the only one to be considered righteous.
Doesn't necessarily mean that
terminology would make sense if it was all of civilization, not humanity. all of the current civilization of the
I
time.
feel like one of the things it was emphasizing was it destroyed like human civilization was the point of the whole flood.
I don't think it necessarily means
that was like the big issue. You had a bunch of like really messed up stuff going on.
I don't think it necessarily means that the unrighteous were all wiped out. It's just that Noah happened to be a very righteous man.
And well, think about it. I mean, you wouldn't get very far in that family tree if it was just, his sons, his three sons.
Maybe they were all like gods and we're just like incest retards, like compared to them.
I mean, we are, but for different reasons.
Well, yes, but
so I think the floods and all that correspond with the theory that I'm really privy to.
Make a boat, Pilgrim.
Known as the Younger Dryas impact theory.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
At one point, we were a far more advanced than we can even imagine right now. But due to a series of impacts on the polar ice cap towards the end of the last ice age, that rose the sea levels 400 feet. Even nowadays, where do we put our heavily, densely populated areas? On the coastal waters. So if it rises 400 feet, guess what you'd find in New York? Not a goddamn thing. Because as the waves come in, the sand papers it away, right? Everything's gone. All of this technology that we have all of our information on are gone. All the books, gone. Anything carved in stone, still there.
And it only takes 10,000 years for a piece of steel to like disappear. So,
yeah, sure.
That's without water. That's without water.
Right.
No, as far as the Younger Dryas theory goes, I'm familiar with it. I actually watched the whole documentary out there. Dryas
theory. Is that what you said?
I may or may not have fumbled my words there.
I thought you were purposely calling it the Younger Dryas theory.
No, the Younger Dryas theory. I'm familiar with it. I do think it has a lot of credibility, and I'm not going to sit here and say like everything that's recorded
makes a lot of sense.
Everything that's recorded in the Bible is like some act of God, because even as like a religious person myself, I would say like
God, perhaps.
I was going to say is I think there's a lot of times where these things have like you can point to like logical explanations for certain things. There's two different ways in which you can interpret like the religious aspect of it. I think the flood has a logical cause, even if it was some like you can call it an act of God, but you could trace it back to a logical cause of things that happened.
So here's the thing.
There's multiple cultures that have that tale though.
That's what I was going to say. So at the same time. Every single major religion has a flood theory, like a flood story. And not only that, a lot of them have talked about fire in the sky, things like that. And what if
world on fire?
You can still say that this is a divine act because God could just flick a couple meteors down.
No, that's pretty much what I'm saying is.
And what happened was it wasn't just that the sea levels rose 400 feet, but you also had the ice shelf of Antarctica and North America melted.
Here's a little interesting thing on that.
Flowed down. You can see it from space. You can see the flow of where
through Minnesota.
It just
that flood water. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Here's one of the other interesting things about like the impact theory. And this is kind of like me going on a little bit of thing. So like you read the whole flood story like in the Bible and all that. It says like and water came up from the deep. Well, like 2014, they discovered this like massive like structure within the earth called ringwoodite, which like absorbs water. And well, how does that water release from that? High pressure and heat. So imagine if something big enough hit the earth, shook it up, and then all of a sudden all of that. There's that aspect to it too, because just the ice caps melting wouldn't cause some worldwide flood like we're talking about.
But
and this structure supposedly contains more water.
2 miles thick of ice.
2 miles thick.
And you gotta keep in mind too. So from the deep makes sense. Like if you don't actually see water flowing, it just comes up, right? So it looks like it's just coming from the deep. Also, all that weight from glacial pressure coming off of one side of a tectonic plate will inevitably raise the other side.
Mm-hmm.
The plate
which is interesting because like geologically there's a whole lot of evidence of like that kind of stuff happening in the United States, particularly the Appalachian Mountains. They were like doing testing on like how deep the roots of those mountains go. They were taller than the Himalayas at one point in history.
Yes. So I've actually
they're
done
actually the same mountain range as the Appalachian mountain range.
I've done.
They were formed at the same time when we were the supercontinent Pangea. Ours were just eroded more.
Back when I was I went there for a excursion.
Well, actually, what happened is ours sank.
Yes,
into the mantle bit.
We sank, but I went there for a excursion for my environmental class. That's what I go to school for. But we actually did surveys of the rock and all the geology around the area, and not to mention the fact that I've also hiked those trails for 3-day hikes many times with Boy Scouts. We used to do a yearly Appalachian hike and do a lot of stuff like that. Yeah, that shit's old. That was there like probably around right after the Cretaceous, if not right before it.
Another thing about like the like Bible too is that and me being someone that actually believes in it, another thing that they don't say is how much time elapses between events. We could be talking about billions of years between things that are actually going on.
That's one of my big problems with what the Catholic Church did in the medieval period. They've made themselves the de facto arbiters of truth, and they put out this timeline for the existence of Earth that was 10,000 years.
You say abuse of power?
Abuse of power? What?
I thought you said.
And so the 10,000-year-old Earth theory just all of a sudden doesn't match up, because
anybody who thinks that the Earth was created 10,000 years ago, that's wild.
That's retarded.
Yeah, no.
Earth
has been here for billions of years.
But here's the other thing, Chris.
There was a point in time where the church stated that, and that was fact of the day.
Yes.
That was the whole that's what I'm saying is what the Catholic Church did in the medieval period, where they acted as though they were the absolute authority and infallible on all things. That was a really big part of why the medieval era is kind of called the Dark Age.
And the narrative is whatever the people telling you the narrative is.
Yep.
It's as fragile as that sounds and as stark as that is, it's true. If you say something that's untrue enough times, people start believing it's true.
Well, that's why
there's a collusion.
That's why there's now the separation of church and state, because that was a problem, and America recognized that. And to Crimson's point, there, it's not just that; it's now academia itself who is really throwing a lot of this information under the bus and just getting rid of it.
They're sweeping it under the rug.
Smithsonian themselves has been caught freaking throwing artifacts into the river.
The Alaskan boneyard shit is
dude.
Wild.
They found watch Joe Rogan's video with the Alaskan.
They found 50 tons of it in the Manhattan River.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, we covered that on. Yeah, we covered that on Daimyo's Aliens Conspiracy.
Yeah, we did cover that on
hard. I think I missed that one.
I think it got brought up when we were talking about the pyramids in the Grand Canyon.
Doug wasn't there for that one, I don't think. Or he wasn't there at the time that we talked about it.
That was a good podcast. I listened to the first one he was on with, but this last one too, and now that he knows more, the amount that also helps bring it back around to the Younger Dryas impact theory.
Exactly.
How do all of these bones get in one fucking spot, if not for mud, flood, all of that shit?
All right, so
there has to be some sort of massive
something moved them all.
Cause that.
Doug, Pilgrim wants us to talk about the Smithsonian. So do you want to explain it?
So it wasn't the Smithsonian with this particular one. It was the It was the one in New York, the Museum of Natural History.
The Smithsonian hid the giant bones and hid the elongated skulls. That's what the Smithsonian was doing.
See, I'm not super familiar with that.
That was that one.
Yeah, the Alaskan Boneyard deal is that they have actually discarded a shit pile of megafauna remains and bones into the river and unlawfully seized them, and now the guy's trying to get them back.
That's wild.
And he actually
I've heard this before, but it's still wild to think that like an institution would do something like that in this day and age when it can be found out. So
that's not shocking.
And like, what's shocking is that they're not even curious to study the area. The guy that owns that land built a facility for studying, for carbon dating, and he's open for people coming in and doing their studies and shit. He built a fucking laboratory for it. But for some reason, there's no interest. Why do you not want to look into why are all these bones in this spot? What killed all these animals? It's because it goes against.
Are they possibly
younger Trias theory? That's why. Because
it kind of goes to prove the younger, not the aspect of the civilization before it, but impact strikes that damn the megafauna. Because what's the prevailing theory on how they all went extinct? It involves extermination by humans.
Yes,
right? Call it a name.
Humans hunted them to extinction, which is ridiculous because
it's got a name to it though. It's like
there's no fucking way that we hunted down dire wolf packs and
short-faced bear.
Not even just the short-faced bear, the American lion, the American camel, like
the saber-toothed tiger.
Saber-toothed tigers, which were way different.
Giant sloth.
Lion.
We could have killed those, but even then,
dude, did you hear? I think it was Luke Caverns was talking about it, or somebody like that. I don't want to say it was Luke because I could be wrong, but there was a tribe down in the Amazon or in Central America. Central America, that's what it is, and they have records in their tribe of like a story that's been passed down forever, but it's only from like the 1800s or something like that, of a massive sloth that lived in a cave, and they would go and feed it to appease it. But it was like when they described it, they described a megafauna sloth. They didn't know what that was. They don't have the technology and shit like that, but they knew what it was. So it's like some of that shit definitely survived for a while. And that could have been
Gray's last comment. He's absolutely right.
They'd rather ditch any evidence than admit they could be right. Exactly.
Modern day Catholic Church.
Absolutely, my friend, dude.
Yeah, I should be careful with saying that. I'm not trying to like knock the whole institution. I'm just saying what they did in the past definitely wasn't right.
Like
I'll knock
as you know, me being like a Catholic,
I'm more talking about the Catholic Church itself, not the
I don't like.
Oh, I'm talking about the academics. I'm not talking about the church. I'm talking about the academics.
That's what I was making a comparison.
I don't like the church either. The church itself is, corrupt as hell, but that's a whole conversation for
Depends on who it is.
But like the whole thing is though, it sounds like they want to erase any like evidence that there was even like a possibility of there being civilizations before ours, which me like personally, why can't scientists and like all that kind of and like those kinds of people, why can't they just why do we want to know more about like these like past eras and these past people so that we can possibly
they've made their name, they made their lectures, their money, their influence on giving these lectures and these presentations, and they would the thing is they wouldn't become irrelevant if they got on the front lines. And also, if you're so confident in your theory, go prove it.
Exactly.
You have an opportunity right in front of you to prove that, yes, okay, this is actually feeding into what we've been saying. Or say we've made some interesting discoveries that are pointing to a new history. Shouldn't you be excited to present
why wouldn't you want to be?
An update? Because that's all it is. It's an update. We're looking at records that take a lot of work to decipher. And also the preservation of bone. We were talking about metals and materials. Let's talk about preservation of bone. You know how unique that is, how difficult that is, and that's what we're going off by evidence and trying to forensically analyze that. Bro, that's an art. And the little that we have, we should try to piece that puzzle together. And I think there is a big ass piece up there in Alaska, and nobody's interested in looking at it.
Well, there are people interested in looking at it. They just won't do it. It's the same thing with like Skinwalker Ranch. You know, it's like you need to have a private company fucking doing it because, you know, if the government gets in there, they're not going to tell us jack shit, which they have. They have literally tried to go into Skinwalker Ranch, and there's private security around that entire area hired by Bob Bigelow back in the day that now work for, I forget the guy's name who owns it now, but he was an associate of Bob's. And they will keep the military out. It's private land. You can't come on because they know that as soon as the military gets their fingers in there and their claws in there, they're not going to be able to disclose any of the shit that they find at Skinwalker. And it's the same thing so many different places. Like they're doing the same thing in Alaska at that site. They do the same thing with a lot of the mounds. They do the same thing with a lot of the crash sites or meteor sites as well.
Well, like another thing to think of too is that there's there's probably a lot of theories. Like there's this theory that there were giants once, and
I believe that because there's many people across the planet that have stories of a race of human being that was more sadistic and more aggressive than others, and they were about 7 to 8 feet tall on average. And I can totally.
What I'm saying is,
but they just said they looked like people. They were just a little bit fucking bigger. And not only that, the Nephilim and well, you have to look at the Nephilim. I don't know if you know what that is, but the Nephilim and then the giants as well. Like that's something I genuinely think. Like, why couldn't that happen? Because we're discovering all these different species of humans, like the cave dwellers that were pygmies, that were basically dwarves. And
they found evidence of anatomically correct humans.
Yes,
dated back to 300,000 years ago in North America.
Yes, and also the humans with elongated skulls that are human, but there's a strand of DNA when they test
humanoid.
No, when they test the bones, there's one strand of DNA that's not human, and they don't know what the fuck it is because it's not from anything that we have ever discovered. So there's a strand of DNA in there that's slightly different. But all of these humans have elongated skulls. They were still human, but they were near human in a way. Let's say they're fucking like Ara Singh. She's a near human and stuff. Yeah. So they were like that, but there's also groups of people that were larger and groups of people that were having like smaller and all these different races. And it was a thing. And there was people that were fair skinned in North Dakota way before the Europeans got here. And they were not Viking. They were not European. They were actually Hebrew, which is the funniest thing. The really interesting thing, I just learned this on Forbidden Frontier the other night, is that there was people that were using Native Americans were using Egyptian writing and hieroglyphs. Like, way before Europeans even got here. The symbols are the symbols are almost exactly identical. And there was apparently a race of fair-skinned people up in the north.
I'd like to look a lot harder into dragons.
Oh, dude, no, dragons are I wholly believe that some dinosaurs, because what always survives apocalyptic events?
Alligators,
birds, and underwater.
I mean,
so there's 2 stories, dog. I can show.
Well, the pterodactyl did not.
I mean, like
the other flying.
You were kidding on me for saying dry ass, and you just said pterodactyl.
I respect the P. It's
I
not
respect
just.
You can respect
I'm
this
not there for show.
Here's like the thing about Dog's point about dragons. It's like when we had when we were talking about the oceans, the last Monday night mayhem, we talked about we talked about the Leviathan.
Well, we also talked about World War II and the story of the mosasaur that was seen before they had discovered the body of any mosasaurs, but everybody described it as crocodile.
That was just a Loch Ness monster looking for tree fitty.
But there's a Native American tribe that swears by the fact that there was a pterodactyl that they killed, and they actually did have bones of a pterodactyl, which is naughty. And then
how do we know?
And then
that,
another story from the 1800s. There was a story from the 1800s of a police officer, kids out in a schoolyard, and they said this massive bird that was like the size of a car kept flying over and trying to go at them. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a pterodactyl, but it could be
a great eagle.
It could be
during the Ice Age too.
A thunderbird.
I thought that was a car.
No, I mean that's a fire
car.
That's a Firebird.
Oh, there is a Thunderbird, Ford Thunderbird.
Oh, Firebird's a good car, but no, it's called a Thunderbird, and yes, the thing is massive. It's like
shit from the 80s. It's not that great.
I think it's fuck it. I'm gonna look up a picture of it. The last there was one that was killed, but it was a juvenile.
I don't know. To me, the dragon thing is interesting because in so many cultures, all around the world that shouldn't have any contact with each other, they all have depictions of the same giant lizards and a lot of speculation goes to our comprehension of them being able to breathe fire is just ridiculous. But the fire could very well just be a depiction of the destruction that they wield.
Yeah.
Not necessarily fire. Fire is the symbol of destruction. So it very well could just be a depiction of how.
That's what I always assume.
That's what I think too.
And I also think that the Chinese dragon could be, if you think about it, there was the Megalania in Australia, which was a massive Komodo dragon that lived there, and it was bigger than, it was about the size of a short bus, but longer tail, and that was just the body. So I mean, humans survived against that massive, and
that's go.
I don't see why there would not be titanoboas in Japan and China, places like that, a massive boa, because titanoboas are crazy.
I think that within
the gator, dude, there was here's the other thing that makes me believe the flood theory, dog, is that not only were there massive birds fucking flying around taking everybody out, because they were, and there was giant snakes, giant bears, giant dogs, friggin' wolves, mammoths, cats, everything.
beans, grains, potatoes, tomatoes.
There's also giant whales in the ocean that are definitely taking your boats out if you're trying to do that. And
Benjamin Sanborn.
What's up? What's up, Benjamin Sanborn? And
or the bones medieval people found made them think of dragons, so maybe the last survivors were killed off by man.
Also, if they were in fact able to achieve flight, they would have to be hollowed bones like a bird.
Yes.
Right? And for those to fossilize would be damn near impossible.
Well, pterodactyls did have fossilized bones.
That's actually a really good point too. Is that like
no,
everything was bigger?
That's true and also not true.
But there was also volcanic ash, and there were circumstances that helped preserve so many of these mass extinction events. They're not just preserved because they just died on a plane somewhere, on a flat ground plane, not obviously, but there was certain circumstance that happened. Dropped into a tar pit or whatever.
That's huge.
That's Odin's raven right there. Good lord.
That's a terror, or that's not a terror bird, a thunderbird.
Wow.
It's a massive surveillance drone.
Also, can we also address that they think there's people that think the arms on a T-Rex are backward, and it was more like a more like an ostrich. They think that they put the arms on the T-Rex wrong, and they're like this, but instead they're facing the opposite way in their wings.
I don't think so, because
Well, when you look at a skeleton of an ostrich and you were to flip their arms around, they look a lot like a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
It's possible, but I personally believe that the T-Rex uses that as a grip when they mate.
Nah, I
think they use a little just to
I think they had wings.
Female.
I think they had wings. I don't think they could achieve flight. I think it is a very
I'm not saying they didn't have wings. It's confirmed that they were feathered.
They had feathers, not wings, but I think they had wings.
How did they catch that bird? That's crazy.
They didn't. It's a replica, like covered in the bones, but that's a juvenile. Oh. That's a juvenile, Roman. That's like a teenage one.
What?
Oh my!
Where does it say that?
That's a teenage.
From the video I watched years ago, that's what it said.
Dude.
Apparently, the wingspan can get the size of a bus or some shit.
So then, what time period were these things around?
They were around. They were around when we were cavemen, and they were picking people up like crazy.
Oh my dude!
That's
get over it, Pilgrim. The T-Rex had feathers.
And they also had to have existed in the United States, in North America, because Native Americans also have the Thunderbird.
Chickens? Chickens are the closest descendant to the T-Rex?
Yes,
now they're used to make dino nuggets.
So. That's actually true. He's not wrong. That's actually true. They're the closest descendants to the T-Rex DNA.
Birds are raptors.
That's why he's not wrong.
The bird created thunder by its wing flaps. Yes. I didn't know that.
It was that loud. It would go.
Raven. That's Thor.
That is Thor.
That's crazy.
But yeah, that's the Thunderbird. That shit's badass. Not the car.
That's crazy.
I almost left the studio by accident.
That would be funny.
I'm gonna jump out of here. I've had a great conversation with y'all.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
Thank you, sir.
As always,
I'm doing a stream soon. I hope y'all are there.
Yeah, I would love to.
When, but just stay tuned.
Yeah, just shoot me a text or something. Let me know when you're doing it.
Yeah, I'll
have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your conversation, and we'll see you.
Yep. Have a good one, buddy. Thanks for coming in. Isn't he just everybody go and subscribe to Star Wars Dog? He's the man.
Yes, sir.
You'll get some riveting Battlefront 2 gameplay.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. But I think though, kind of to Dog's point,
Thank you,
it wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't shock me if in like 150 years we find bones of dragons. That would not shock me if we find like dragon
find them
bones.
in the next 10. Because
okay, we will find the bones of a dragon, but people are going to give this thing a name. So what are you betting on? Smog, Alduin the World Eater?
Definitely Smog.
Oh, bro,
I think Smog will be the name for it.
I don't know. It depends on the generation that finds it. You could end up with an Alduin.
Nah, bro, I'm calling that shit Alduin. Nah, Parthenax. Parthenaxia will be the name of like the breed. That sounds Latin enough, right? Parthenaxia.
I guess.
Fuck you.
But
I'm kidding.
To just to like Dog brought up the whole Elon Musk chip thing earlier, and I just wanted to show this here. Apparently, someone had there was someone that got the first test or the first operation, and I can't read it because I'm not subscribed to this paper, but apparently the person's doing well, and someone now has a Neuralink in their head, so I guess we'll see.
Good for them.
I'm going to find this person and hack their Neuralink.
But I certainly hope that like the person does well, but that's kind of a scary thought to think of. But Roland said that before we wrapped stream that he wanted to show a video about like UFO.
I'm not ready yet. I gotta find it.
I said before we wrapped you wanted to find it. So, but yeah, no. This definitely been fun, and I love doing the Monday night mayhems because it kind of breaks us up from our chaos on Wednesday. So,
I mean, it's chaos either way, but this one's more like a scientific chaos.
Yeah. So they had a chip implanted into their brain, is what happened.
And Elon Musk took a potato chip and put it inside someone's head.
Dude, Elon Musk put like a Pringle inside of someone's head, bro.
Elon Musk would do anything that he thought is funny. If magic existed, Dude. Elon Musk would figure out how to use it to make memes.
That's very true.
Where the fuck? No, dude.
Or Dogecoin.
Where the fuck is this video, bro? Come
Elon Musk would like, if like there was magic and he had like possession of it, you would have to subscribe to like Twitter Plus in order to access magic, bro. Would be like really funny.
$8.99 a month for magic. Well, I just came up with a new manga idea.
Dude, that's something. How has no one ever thought of that? Like, you have to pay like $9 a month.
Someone probably has. Me and my brother were joking about like just a while back. We were joking about like, what if we wrote like a harem like romance series? So there's like all these girls like fawning over this one dude, but the one dude is gay. Someone's actually wrote that apparently.
I looked it up. That's a thing.
I thought.
How stupid would like all those women feel though? Honestly, like
the thing is though, it's like it looks like a Shotokan character, so it gets really weird. I never read it. I looked up some of the artwork for it. I'm just like, okay, this dude looks like he's like 14.
Yeah, bro. That's why anime can kind of like get into some
there's some stuff. Do not ever watch Gushing Over Magical Girls. Just a strong recommendation.
Which is why, that's why I have a lot of. Which is why I have a lot of respect for you being an anime channel, Crimson, because you have to talk about anime, but if you say it, but like if you talk about the wrong type of anime, you are in serious trouble. So it's like,
yeah, there are certain things I don't touch, and I try to stick to like when it comes to like nudity or like lewd content stuff. I try to stick to the tasteful stuff. So like Jobless Reincarnation dabbles in some of that stuff. It definitely touches like the sus zone. I mean, you have a kid who's like he's a creep. He would probably get put on a list for the things he's done. But it's an overall really well constructed story. So
well, this is the video. I muted it because the music is just some stupid TikTok shit. But so I think I talked about this before, but basically I just wanted to reiterate it because we didn't get a chance to talk about it on our show here. So this was a model from Spain, I believe. She's in a private jet. I want to say she's flying over America. I think it's from California to somewhere or Florida to somewhere, something like that. And she goes into the cockpit and is recording back and forth. And this happens during that recording. And she happens to catch it. And I think the real thing that makes this more valid is that it's not like she came out and blew up about it. She just posted it. It wasn't like she turned a camera around and shows her face like, like for TikTok and stuff like that. And so this thing is flying at the 45-degree angle that Bob Lazar described, like this. And he said the propulsion works that way. It doesn't work like this way. So they go up and they turn and then they get pulled because they're using gravitational technology. So that's what he says. But this completely proves that. Now people are saying that this is pretty much the closest thing we've seen to since the Phoenix Lights. So let's pull that up.
Let's see it.
So what I'm going to do here is
that's a drone, bro.
No, it's not. Not at that level. It's illegal. Wait till I find the shape of it.
Yes, because things being illegal has definitely stopped people. I'm talking about gun control and drug control here.
Yeah.
Look at that shape. Look at that shape. There's not a single drone on this planet that looks like that can be at that height. 30,000 feet. No fucking way.
See, that looks like a pigeon.
Are we absolutely sure that like that's not a bird? Are we like absolutely sure?
Absolutely positive because that's not close to the plane and it was recorded on radar. That's not close. It looks close, and I can guarantee you, as somebody who's been in a small plane like that, in the cockpit and looking out the windows when I was in Alaska, things that are 5 miles away look like they're close as fuck, like a mountain, but it's not. That's not close to them. That shit moved. Watch the way it moves.
How does being in a plane change its like the perception? I don't get that. Because I've been in planes too. I've flown places. It's never changed my perception of how things look or how close things look.
It will when something is bigger than it seems. Like here, we'll watch it in slow-mo. Explain to me how you would fake this, though, the way that it flies up. When she's not recording like that specifically. She's not going for that.
I mean, I'm not saying that it's like fake. It's just
it's definitely not. It's definitely not a fake video, in my opinion.
That could easily just be a bird. It could be.
It looks nothing like a fucking bird, dude.
See, the thing is, though, if it were a bird, you would have seen it like flapping its wings at some point.
Yes,
a bird wouldn't.
True.
But dude, it retained the same shape the whole way through.
Roman, when's the last time you saw a bird go faster than a fucking plane?
Never.
Hold on. The thing is, though, that could have just been the plane passing it by. So, like,
not the way that it moves. It moves up. It doesn't stay straight. It's not as if it's floating there.
I still think that's dodgy reasoning. I think the most convincing part of it that it's not a bird is the fact that it stays the same shape the whole way through. You never see any change in movement. It's like it's uniform circularly. No matter what angle you view it from, it doesn't change. Yes.
And here's the other thing. It comes out of the clouds. It comes out of the clouds and goes like this past the plane. It's not like it's just sitting there stationary or slowly moving. It literally comes out of the clouds towards them and right past them.
Yeah, that is fascinating. I'm actually gonna
since the Phoenix,
I'm gonna look more into that video.
Yeah, that's like the most
more into that video.
Damning evidence of UFOs since the Phoenix Lights.
If that's not a bird, that's definitely something.
It's not a fucking bird. Birds don't fly that high, Roman.
I'm saying, like, you have me convinced now that it's definitely not a like drone because drones don't move that fast. One, and then two, it's gotta be something. It's definitely not fake, but it's definitely gotta be like.
It's gotta be something.
No, but So, do you boys have anything that you would like to plug before we, get on out of here?
Just Rolo Films on Instagram, Rolo_films on Instagram, Rolo Lord Grand Admiral Rolo on Twitter and or X or whatever the fuck you call it these days. And if you want to follow my personal, I guess Rolo_Lord, but that's pretty much it. That's all I got to plug at the moment. So
you can find me
come and check me out
on YouTube. I cover mostly just animated stuff, movies, cartoons, all that, pop culture stuff, a little bit of indie comic stuff, and some random news segments every now and then. Crimson Law here on YouTube.
Also, we have fun on Saturdays. So,
yes, we do.
He's got a little live stream he does on Saturdays. I'm there as much as I can be. So, we talk anime.
And you guys all know where to find me, and we'll see you boys on Wednesday.
Yes. I will see everybody Wednesday. Thank you very much.